Do Mr. Fantastic's stretchy arms actually work? Or are they just fluffy gimmicks? This is the all-new Marvel Legends Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four First Steps. And today we're putting those bendy limbs to the test. Can they hold on to another figure? Are they foldable or just frustrating? With alternate elongated arms, 20 points of articulation, and a sculpt ripped straight from the MCU, Hasbro might finally done Reed justice. But is this figure truly fantastic? Let's find out. This Mr. Fantastic figure only comes with one head sculpt, and it's a calm, collected take on Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. From a distance, it definitely gives off that Pedro Pascal vibe. Honestly, this might be one of the best looking Pedro Pascal head sculpts out there. But I don't collect Star Wars figures, so I can't really compare it to Dinjarin releases. If you do, let me know in the comments. How does this face stack up? Hasbro did a solid job with the inkjet printing on Pedro's mahogany eyes. They really gave the figure some life. The eyebrows and beard are both sculpted and painted cleanly, and the nose looks spot on in terms of shape and size. His lips are subtly painted, no lipstick effect here, just natural tones. The sculpted hair has a deep brown color with clean white accents on the side to match his MCU look. The beard is also sculpted with a light brown paint wash that adds some texture without overdoing it. Honestly, I got no real complaints about this head sculpt. I just wish we got an alternate head with an angrier expression, something more dynamic for battle poses. It's a bit tricky to judge the film accuracy of the costume since we've only seen trailers so far, but based on what we've got, the suit looks okay. The 4 logo on his chest is embossed into the sculpt, with the number 4 itself cleanly painted on. The costume also features nicely done parallel vertical lines running down the torso, adding texture without being too busy. His belt is a separate piece, fully sculpted in white with black paints. However, I did notice some spots, especially on Reed and Sue's costume, where the black paint can get a little sloppy. That said, the belt stays in place thanks to the waist sculpt, so it doesn't ship around like a loose accessory. I wonder if those 4 rectangular shapes on his back is supposed to be used for a backpack. Mr. Fantastic has double-jointed pinless elbows and knees. Just like Human Torch, which I reviewed recently, there is no hidden lower cap swivel on the boots, and there is no swivel on the gloves as well. I find the design of the Fantastic Four footwear interesting because they look like a pair of Jordan 11s with that black shiny strip on a white footwear. It makes sense because in the trailers it seems that Reed can jump really high. In the comments below, let me know, are you happy with this new MCU Mr. Fantastic action figure? Does it meet expectations or exceeds it? Mr. Fantastic comes with 4 interchangeable hands and 2 hands that are permanently attached to the bendy arms. So does that mean he has 6 hands in total? Well, this is the first pair. It's a pair of open palm hands that can hinge forward and back. There's black paint on the palm, and on the back it's all white. Here is a pair of closed fist hands. Same design, white on top, black near the palm. Be careful when interchanging the hands because he has a bracelet which is on the right hand. These hands can hinge forward and back. The gimmick of this figure is the interchangeable bendy arms. Remove that, probably best to heat up the figure so it can easily be removed, and plug in the bendy arm. It plugs in easily, and here we have the bendy arm. Next is the other arm, same deal. Just make sure to heat it up so you don't cause any damage, but don't overheat it up because it will become very loose. So this is the wingspan of Reed Richards. Before we measure it, let's take a closer look at the sculpt. This seems to be 2 parts based on that part right there. It seems to be a swivel, but it's really not a swivel. You cannot swivel that part. I wish it was, given how noticeable it is. The wingspan of Reed Richards is approximately 30 centimeters, which is around 12 inches, almost 12 inches. And measuring the arm length alone, it is approximately 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches long. Similar to other Marvel Legends with Bendy equipment or Bendy accessories, there is a certain resistance, so you cannot fully bend it, and sometimes it just pegs out. But that means it will stay in place if you bend it like that. But let's see later if you can wrap around another figure. This just reminds me with Scorpion's tail, or who else? Doc Ock's tentacles. Looking back, I think Doc Ock's tentacle is better at wrapping around other figures. Was the review helpful so far? If it was, I hope you give this review a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. For places where the figures in this review might still be available, I left some links in the description below.
I'm Juggernaut!
Is the new Marvel Legends series Mr. Fantastic action figure the GOAT in terms of those bendy arms? Let's take a closer look. First, let's see whether those bendy arms can carry him standing up. It took me several tries and a couple of minutes in order to get his arms to carry him, but it only lasted for less than 60 seconds before he starts to fall down. To check how far he can stretch his arms around Psylocke, this is what it looks like. He cannot even fully embrace her. His forearms cannot stick close to Psylocke's body. Maybe Reed is just playing it safe? Let's try it out with a fellow Fantastic Four member, Johnny Storm. He cannot fully embrace him. Human Torch is too hot to handle. Although there is a slight bend to his fingers, he cannot hold on to larger items. In order for him to grip the ball, I used sticky tack or glue tack. He can embrace a short action figure like Puck, still not fully closed loop in terms of his arms because the arms would always resist. For a slightly shorter teenage body mold, Miles Morales, it's the same deal as Puck. He cannot fully embrace him. His bendy arms will not reach the back of Miles Morales. It just won't. It's really resisting. For a quick size comparison of different sizes of Marvel Legends, you can see Reed Richards is a typical 6-inch scale figure. As expected, besides 7-inch scale figures, he will be the shortest. The new Marvel Legends series Mr. Fantastic action figure from the movie Fantastic Four First Steps stands 15.5 centimeters or 6.1 inches tall. According to IMDb, Pedro Pascal is almost 5 feet 11 inches tall, making this figure a taller 6-inch scale representation of Pedro Pascal, but maybe the Air Jordan shoes does add a little height. Here are other figures from the Fantastic Four First Steps wave. Human Torch, I reviewed already, Sue Storm up next, Ben Grimm up next, and Silver Surfer. From the Deadpool movies, we have Hugh Jackman in his Tiger Stripe costume, Deadpool from the Deadpool Legacy Collection, also Colossus from that collection, and Wolverine. For some arcade nostalgia, Spiral, Marrow, Gamerverse, Psylocke vs Thanos, which I reviewed recently, hope you check it out. For different sizes of Spider-Man, shortest Spider-Man from the Secret Wars wave. Next is Maximum Series Spider-Man, Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, and from the comic book accessory wave, Ultimate Miles Morales. Next is 6-inch scale Jedi Street Fighters, Ryu, Chun-Li, Cammy White, Blanca, and Sagat. Darna, Philippines version of Wonder Woman by Halimo Sculptures and Loose Collector, and from the new Burning Hammer line of Loose Collector, Master Wee Lee. From the partnership of Executive Replicas and Loose Collector, Crusade Comics She, and Coffin Comics La Muerta. 6-inch scale versus 7-inch scale, Marvel celebrating 80 years Hulk, and the Marvel Select Immortal Hulk or the Rampaging Hulk. For packaging, Mr. Fantastic comes in the standard rectangular box with a window you can see the figure and the accessories, Marvel Studios Fantastic Four and a retro logo of Hasbro, Here is a concept art of Pedro Pascal in the Mr. Fantastic costume. On the back is the same concept art. Here are some warning legalities. Trademark. On the side is the same concept art. It says Mr. Fantastic with the Mr. Fantastic logo. Here is the barcode and some consumer info. On top is the Fantastic Four logo. Unboxing the new Mr. Fantastic Marvel Legends. He comes with one plastic tray. On the back is the generic Fantastic Four logos of each character. Reed Richards will have the Bendy arm type logo. Here are all the accessories, which includes a pair of alternate hands and a pair of alternate stretchy arms. For articulation, his head can move from side to side easily without any hindrance. He can look down and look up. His arms can extend that far. He can do a full 360 right here. He has a bicep swivel right here. Double jointed pinless elbows. The wrist can swivel and all hands can hinge forward and back. He has an upper torso swivel. I won't fully do a 360 because it might break the sculpt. He has a waist swivel. He can crunch forward, not much. Crunch backward slightly a little as well. He can do a split right here. He has an upper thigh swivel. Double jointed pinless knees can kick back that way. Kick forward. He has no lower calf swivel. He can hinge forward and back and has an ankle rocker. My final thoughts on the new Hasbro Marvel Legends series Mr. Fantastic. Is this the GOAT of all Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic figures? It might be the best one yet, but it's still missing that extra stretch. He cannot fully wrap around or embrace other figures, which limits the playability a bit. I'll be honest, I ran out of creative ways to pose the bendy arms. Even on Hasbro polls, the official product shots doesn't really show off any exciting or dynamic uses either. Also, the blue on the costume feels a little bit off. Based on the trailers, it doesn't quite match the on-screen look, but until the movie drops, it's hard to say for sure. So the big question remains, should you grab this now or wait for a sale? That really depends on how good Fantastic Four First Steps movie ends up. If the movie hits big, these figures might sell out fast. If you're curious about the rest of the wave, I've added a link to those reviews in the top right corner of your screen. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review useful. If you do, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell. I hope to see you on the next one.